the observable universe out to billions of light years. We can track the firing of individual neurons, and we have even trained silicon chips to process logic and speak. Yet, despite mastering the mechanics of the physical world, we struggle to explain the most basic fact of human existence: why it actually feels like something to be alive. Behind your eyes, there is an invisible observer experiencing the world. It processes the light hitting your retinas and the sound waves entering your ears. Science refers to this internal watcher as consciousness. This EEG line graph maps human brain activity. In a waking state, the waves are rapid and chaotic. But as you enter level 1, deep sleep, the frequency drops below 4 cycles per second, stretching out into what neurologists call delta waves. In this delta wave state, physical space vanishes, time stops, identity, memories, and the ego dissolve into an absolute void. You experience a total absence of self. Yet, upon waking, you possess the memory that you felt nothing at all. To have a memory of that void, something had to be present to record it. Even when the biological brain remains silent, a hidden observer stays awake in the dark. The brain then shifts gears into level 2, dreaming. Your body remains motionless, locked in sleep, but your mind flawlessly simulates gravity, lighting, passing time, and characters that feel entirely authentic. In that moment, the dream is indistinguishable from the world outside. This raises a difficult question. If your biological hardware can simulate reality so convincingly while you sleep, what evidence guarantees that level 3, your current waking life, is objectively real? Human eyes and ears do not show us a raw feed of reality. They act as evolutionary filters designed for survival. A bat navigates physical space through sound waves. People with synesthesia see music as color. We live in a consensus reality, a functional, collective interpretation of the world that human biology agrees upon to keep us alive. Because our waking life is built on these biological filters, reaching the actual mechanics of the universe requires us to look beyond the physical senses. This leads us to level 4, Transcendental Consciousness. Instead of letting the brain generate a continuous stream of thoughts, a person in deep meditation intentionally stills their internal monologue, remaining fully awake. The philosopher René Descartes famously linked existence to the act of thinking. Level 4 challenges that premise. When the mind stops generating thoughts, the sensation of existence remains. This top-down schematic tracks the brain's electrical pulses. In advanced meditation, both hemispheres synchronize and mirror each other rhythmically. The internal observer isolates from the biological hardware. The internal monologue fades into stillness, leaving a pure sensation of I am. Thoughts pass like crowds, leaving behind only the silent, empty container that holds them. When that meditative silence extends past the practice and into the chaos of daily life, you enter level 5, Cosmic Consciousness. In clinical terms, this is continuous meta-awareness. A person in this state experiences real-world stress or joy, but their internal baseline remains untouched by the drama. This state functions like a cinema. The individual acts out their role on the screen, while simultaneously watching with the calm detachment of the audience in the theater. At this 5th level, the observer remains separate from the physical identity. The body operates in the world, but the consciousness watching it stays insulated from the illusion. Detachment eventually gives way to a deep perception in level 6, God consciousness. Here, the physical world appears as a singular, living, and sacred entity, rather than a collection of dead matter. In this pan across ancient Sanskrit text, we see the historical documentation of this state. Ancient Vedic scholars mapped this realization centuries ago, calling it Sat Chit Ananda, the unity of being, consciousness, and bliss. Modern neurobiologists measuring mystics in this state record extreme, sustained gamma wave activity, the highest frequency electrical state the human brain can produce. This connection culminates in level 7, unity consciousness. At this boundary, the conceptual wall separating the watcher from the world vanishes. Reality becomes non-dual. Like a single drop of water merging into the sea, the individual awareness becomes the entire ocean. Examining these 7 levels suggests a shift in how we view our existence. The data from high-energy brain states and ancient records points toward a radical possibility that consciousness is the foundational fabric of reality rather than a secondary effect of biology. These 7 levels represent a cosmic circle. We move through phases of forgetting and remembering, drifting away from our source only to find our way back. Eastern philosophers called this Leela, or divine play. The universe fragments its own awareness into billions of individual human disguises to experience itself from a subjective perspective. The next time you look in a mirror, consider what is looking back. That reflection is the universe peering through a human lens, finally catching a glimpse of its own eyes.